In 2004, Mark Cherry went to HBO, CBS, NBC, Fox, Showtime, and Lifetime to pitch a show that only ABC accepted, Desperate Housewives. Desperate Housewives is honestly one of my favorite shows. It is akin to being inspired by the film American Beauty, and he's also linked it to Knots Landing, Twin Peaks, and Sex in the City. Desperate Housewives is basically a show that is about these normal suburban women who are very night night tight knit housewives, and a lot of stuff in their life takes a very dark and twisty turn when one of their friends ends up committing suicide. Through that, we get honestly, I know starting off suicide's not the best, but through it we get a lot of silver linings. We get a lot of comedic moments, we get a lot of dramatic moments, heartfelt moments, a lot of moments. Desperate Housewives is a show I'm rewatching it for the second time. I'm like trapped in the wormhole right now of it. It's a really really good show, honestly. um so the premise of it is after Mary Alice Young commits suicide, we watch her talk to us and narrate the show from her afterlife. And we see how she ends it all. We see her husband acting very suspicious, the neighbors talking trash, and all the ones who are close to her wondering how could anyone ever do something like this. But through it, we get four very unique vantage viewpoints. I'm not saying stuff right today, but it's fine. We get four different viewpoints and four different lives. You have Brie Vandekamp, who is played by Marcia Cross. She is somebody who, first of all, she looks like a perfect doll. She's a gorgeous, beautiful woman. Um, she reminds me a lot of Nicole Kidman with the way she acts and the way she carries herself. We see her, who is portrayed as a perfect housewife. She is the homemaker, the Betty Crocker. She is the one who literally you can't see an episode of her without bringing a basket full of muffins. Um, but she's also somebody who's very witty, who is a very complex character. She's a conservative. She loves her guns, and she just has a wit about her. Okay. Then you have Lynette Scavo. Lynette Scavo is played by Felicity Huffman. Yes, the one who was in the college scandal. And Lynette Scavo is a very gritty mom. She's I wouldn't call her a feminist. I have seen think pieces um call her a feminist. I don't really call Lynette a feminist. I think Lynette is, if honestly, more of a misogynist. But I think Lynette is somebody who believes in it being a dog eat dog world. More so, I feel like Lynette Scavo is a character who believes more in like roles in life, if that makes any sense. But I feel like while she believes in roles in life, she doesn't know where to be in life because she is a woman who is a shark. She is a woman who is a bulldog, but she's also a woman who is a very maternal soul. She loves her family with all her heart, and she wants nothing more than to make them happy. And she literally has 6 kids. Like, I don't care what you say. I don't care what a woman's career is. It doesn't get more maternal to me than pushing out 6 babies. Okay, okay. um, and then from there you have Susan Meyer, who is played by Terry Hatcher. Susan Meyer is the romantic, heads in the clouds lover woman. She is the one who is just always dreaming, and she's the girl who always gets the attention even if she's not trying to get it. um she's a very good parallel to Edie Britt, who is a like I call like a subsection what type wife type character. She's like a not the main, but she basically feels like the main to me. They're a very good contrast because Edie Britt gets portrayed as like the slut of the lane in a sense. But she loves who she is, holds strong to who she is, and says fuck you to anyone who wants to judge her. And she does it with grace. I love E.D. Britt. And she oftentimes like makes Susan takes a good look at herself and be like, okay, yeah, I was just being selfish in this situation, and I was really just trying to make it about me. And then sometimes she's not. Very, very, very good writing for characters there. And Susan has a daughter, one daughter. She has Julie, and Julie's very important to mention. Whereas I did not mention the other kids yet. Julie is a very pivotal person to mention when you're talking about Susan, because Susan is a character who gets portrayed a lot more in the sense of always with the person, which does also become her storyline. She's a very codependent type of character. And you see that early on with her daughter. Her first husband, Carl, is kind of like a sleazebag and stuff like this. So like you never have the show with them together. They never start together, none of that. And you see that Julie has a very almost inappropriate relationship with her daughter. Like they talk about sex together and all that type of stuff. Like, so it's like very codependent for them too. And then after that, you have Gabriella Solis, Eva Longoria, played by Eva Longoria, and who's a Pisces, March 15th. Hey. And Eva Longoria, Gabrielle Solis, she is married to Carlos in the show, and I find Carlos very important to mention because Carlos, as well as Julie, is very pivotal to Gabrielle's trajectory and journey. I even love the fact that the show gave us so much time of them not being together and them being separated as a couple, which is when Carlos gets with Edie Britt, and that became hilarious. And then also very tragic and sad when the tornado, oh my gosh. Watching a tornado now, I'm like, okay, maybe I see why some of my friends who have been through actual tornadoes may fear tornadoes so much. Me being in Florida, we don't really get tornadoes, so therefore I don't have a very big pivotal fear of tornadoes. And barely hurricanes at that, because I live in Orlando, and we don't typically get the, like, stuff that much in Orlando. Yeah. I would honestly be really wishing when I was in school for a good hurricane day, because we don't have snow days here. And a lot of times it'll be like, no school for Seminole, but oh, no, Orange, you guys still have school. Anyway, moving on. So, that is the wives of Wisteria. The women of Wisteria. And that may be where I stop this one for now. Yeah. Little intro to the wives. Desperate Housewives.